Hello and welcome to today's English language class. My name is Obiectives and I will be taking you on reading silently to answer questions. The objectives of today's class is you should be able to read with understanding, you should be able to discuss the passage exhaustively and intelligently after the class, you should be able to answer the comprehension questions, and you should be able to explain the meaning of words in the context in which they are used. The comprehension passage is titled The Housing Problem in Nigeria. The housing problem in Nigeria. Housing is certainly one of the basic necessities of man. Since the 1970s, however, when rural dwellers migrated to the urban areas in very large numbers, housing has become a problem in Nigeria. This is further exacerbated by the upsurge in the number of people from ECOWAS countries coming to stay in the country, increasing the country's population in a manner that surpasses the rate at which houses are built, and the relative increase in cash flow which makes Nigerians desire better living conditions. The importance of housing is so universally acknowledged that the United Nations declared 1986 the International Year of Shelter. Even one of the major political parties in the Second Republic made the building of houses one of its cardinal programs. But so far, all efforts made, including building of housing estates by the government, have not solved the problem of inadequate housing. How could this be solved? An architect, Chief Olaiwola Fadairo, wants the government to limit its role to the provision of amenities and making available at cheap prices various building materials like cement, roofing sheets, asbestos, as well as finishing materials such as paints and tiles. Chief Olaiwola, who wants the government to build and sell its houses at reasonable prices, also feels that the land use decree needs to be looked into with a view of making it easier for people to obtain land. But Mr. N.O. Eti, an insurance executive, wants the government to wash its hands off the building of houses completely. The government should leave the building of houses to private individuals. All it should do is to concern itself with the provision of amenities such as land, roads, electricity, and telephones, among others. Mr. Eti sees the current increases in the prices of cement as the result of the closure of cement factories due to non-availability of raw materials or machine spare parts. He therefore wants the government to ensure that the provision of materials to produce building items will be made much easier. He says that the land use decree should be abrogated. Individual landowners or families should be allowed to sell their land or make use of it the way they deem fit. Ayodeji Adekunle shares Eti's view. Adekunle, a biochemistry lecturer at the University of Ibadan and a member of the Constituent Assembly, said that government should not be involved in building houses. All the government should do is to make prices of materials cheap and within reach. Insurance and other financial institutions like mortgage banks can give people loans to build houses. This is how I built my house, and I'm still paying mortgage on it. Mr. Agbo Areo, a publisher, shares this view, though partially. To him, apart from making materials available, the government should set up corporations that will build houses and hire them out, as is the practice in the United Kingdom. If this is done, problems like undue fluctuation in prices of building materials, as well as difficulties people encounter in the process of building houses, would be greatly minimized, if not totally removed. Mr. Ajayi Ekaola, the West District Area Manager of Wema Bank, does not want the government to wash its hands off the building of houses. Also, he does not see as proper the idea of restricting building of houses to a particular stratum of government, federal, state, or local. All of them should cooperate, he said. This passage is extracted from the Sunday Times, June 12, 1988, page 11. Now, here are questions you should be able to answer from reading this passage. State the reasons given by the writer for the increasing gravity of the housing problem in Nigeria since the 1970s. Name 3 of the people whom the writer consults and evaluates their credentials for holding their opinions. 3. The body that declared 1986 an important year is dash. 4. Give the meaning of the following words as used in the passage: abrogated, cardinal, exacerbated, fluctuation, and upsurge. According to the insurance executive's opinion, why are the prices of building materials such as cement and paint so high? The summary of the class: read the passage silently while paying attention to understand it. Ensure you can answer the questions attached. Answer the questions. Your homework is the same as the questions that come after the passage. State the reasons given by the writer for the increasing gravity of the housing problem in Nigeria since the 1970s. 2. Name 3 of the people whom the writer consults and evaluates their credentials for holding their opinions. 3. The body that declared 1986 an important year is dash. 4. Give the meaning of the following words as used in the passage: abrogated, cardinal, exacerbated, fluctuation, and upsurge. 5. According to the insurance executive's opinion, why are the prices of building materials such as cement and paint so high? Send all your inquiries and the answers to these questions to jimosmith@edufirst.ng. That's the email address showing at the lower right side of your screen right now. Have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next class. Thank you.